How Am I Still Alive contains graphic and explicit content that some listeners may find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
You might just end up being here tonight.
I figured we'd get pizza and watch a movie.
There we go.
I figured we'd watch some horror movie.
We got plenty of streaming services. We can find something.
Can we watch Annabelle?
I don't know if I have that, but I can see. Welcome back. You're listening to How Am I Still Alive podcast. I'm Jess.
I'm Marcy, and I just racked my badge on a stripper pole.
Yeah, so we went down to get another bottle of wine ready once we run out of Prosecco, but
I ran after Jess while blaring Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls on my phone. Because TLC. Chili for life, bitch.
oh my god.
Though I did name the ovary I almost lost after left eye. Because it was my left ovary.
Left eye ovary.
Actually, right before I went into surgery, I had my family on speakerphone, and I'm like, okay, everyone gather around, say goodbye to Lefty. And they all literally, in unison, because I ruined everyone's Thanksgiving, sang into the phone, bye, Lefty!
Bye, Lefty.
And the anesthesiologist was looking at me like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, He's like, how much pain meds have you had? I'm like, oh, I haven't had any. This is why I'm like this. And he's like, oh, okay. Then he was like, all right.
Let's just put you to sleep.
Now the CRNA gave me a half dose because I told him I was lightweight and he might have to tube me in the room otherwise. And he was like, okay.
Good to know. But yeah, we are on our part 2 of the farewell Chikatilo extravaganza. So if you haven't seen haven't heard of part 1, go back. You're out of order.
Or don't. Because it's not going to make much sense. Because he's fucking weird. All you need to know, limp dick. Still can splooge. What the fuck?
Limp dick, poverty, troubled childhood.
Ate grass
in Ukraine during war times. Mother was raped. Probably watched it.
Mommy issues. Heavy on the mommy issues.
His dad was a POW, brought shame to him, and then he jizzed on an 11-year-old girl while wrestling her, and now he's a cunt.
And now you're caught up.
Boom. So how can we say we're surviving this week? You just hard rammed your vag against my stripper pole in my living room.
Thankfully, I'm drunk enough where I didn't really feel it that much. So I'm going to wake up with a bruised badge and be like, wonder what I did yesterday.
A bruised vag. You just be like, oh, what happened?
Huh. Must have fallen down some stairs. It's fine.
Oh my god. That's dark thinking.
How many times have I fallen down the stairs, though?
Fair enough.
Where I'm just like, and I've racked my vag on the corner of like a post before, so.
I can't tell how many times, though, I have like opened my pet cam at work and people are like, is that a dick on your couch? Why is there a stripper pole in your living room?
It's just like,
I'm like, mind your business. There's Sabine.
You don't like it, don't look at it.
I'm gonna throw her treats. And of course all my like coworkers are like, oh my god. They are well aware I'm crazy.
It's fine. Aren't we all a little, though?
Quarantine did a lot of things to a lot of people. It just made my crazy more prominent.
My crazy has never been unprominent.
Unprominent.
I don't know the other word for that. Subtle, maybe? Yeah, subtle.
Subtle.
So, yeah, how are you surviving? Besides watching me rack my badge on your stripper pole. And utterly fail.
I don't know. I feel like April and May has been nothing but appointments for me, and it gets a little old after a while. Like, I just had a hair appointment. I have an appointment for Jasmine at the vet next week because she still has that cat acne that I can't get under control.
Cacne.
Cacne. Yeah, there's a lot of bubbly.
I put it up to the microphone. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't.
But yeah, so I gave her a bath with Matt. And trying to coach Matt through his first cat bath.
Ooh, that's ugly.
First of all, I have to hold the cat with the cowhide gloves because she scratches. So I'm like holding her so she doesn't scratch. I'm like, all right, now do it. And he's like, do what? I'm like, run the water over. And he's like hosing her. I'm like, no, go gently and like spoon your hand and put the water on her. Don't just, like, spray her in the face.
She's gonna get real mad and bite you.
I know. I'm like, oh my god. And then, like, you have to get her front. He's like, your front, she's gonna scratch. I'm like, just fucking get her front. I'm holding her paws. Like, get her front. So I'm, like, trying to coach him through. I'm like, all right, now lather her with the stuff. And he's just doing under her chin where I'm like, no, we're here. We're doing the whole fucking thing. Just fucking get the soap all over her. Lather her up. Like, get her all scrubby. And...
That's very different from the last cat bath experience I had.
Yeah, I'm used to doing it with my dad, and I probably should have called him to have him help me.
I mean, Jim is good at these things.
Because we can get her done in 5 minutes lickety-split. With Matt, I'm like trying to coach him through it, but at the same time hold a very unhappy, screaming cat with cowhide gloves.
See, I need to get some of those for Dave, because he was the bad one.
Yeah.
But the last cat I had to bathe was Blue, because he shit his britches all over his legs.
But he fucking gives up and just lets you do it.
Yeah, because he's a little bitch. So I one-handed was holding him down while he cried the entire time. And I scrubbed his ass aggressively in the butt.
No, I have to grab the forearms with one hand and the back legs with another hand, kind of hold her against me a little bit. I'm like, all right, just fucking put the water on her.
Yeah, no, I just had him by the shoulders.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm here. And then just got the rest of him while he, like, and just sobbed into the corner while I bathed him and had him, like, under the full force of the faucet, too. He let it happen, then I swaddled him like a baby in a towel and threw him at Ricky so I could clean up his shit puddles.
It also doesn't help that I switched out my shower head with, like, a rave one that lights up and changes color. So, it's a nice stream, though. TikTok made me buy it. But yeah, it's just a shower head that lights up and strobes. And the fucking cat's like, what the fuck is going on? And oh my god, yeah.
Oh, speaking of, I gotta buy our kiddie pools. Got interrupted. So...
Yeah, and also the kiddie pools you're planning on getting so we can just, like, sit.
Now, do we want to get multiple separate ones, or do we want to get a larger, slightly deeper one that is rainbow? So we can sit in it together.
Can two adults fit in it?
Probably.
Yeah, you can do the big one if you want.
Okay.
Depends what you want.
Well, alright. So, it's either this or these. We have our own. You get an avocado, a pineapple, or a lemon.
It's your lawn, dude.
I know, I'm still trying to... I haven't bought them because I can't decide. But those are only 10 inches deep, and the other one's 15 inches deep.
15 inches. You could probably put a floaty in the 15-inch better than a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, do our own. And we just get our own little floaty.
Yeah, so I'll do the big one, the rainbow one is 15 inches, so maybe 2 rainbow ones. You smell of farts and shame.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
that's the cat, not Jess.
Yeah. Her incision's almost healing up, too, so she'll be able to go outside soon.
She's gonna murder so many things.
She got out today, though, and she panicked, and she tried, like, getting in the door, but she didn't know how to get back. Like, she went out the flip door and didn't know how to get back through the flip door, so she panicked.
I do love cats. They're like the geniuses of the furry morons, if you know what I mean. Like, my dog is a dumbass. He ran into a table and a door today. But my cats are both intelligent and stupid. Unless it's Blue, then he's just straight up dumb.
They're selectively stupid.
No, he's just globally stupid, but Dave is... He looks like... Okay, so Dave has been coned for a while because he also has something weird going on with his face. And now Ricky's doing this petting move that he calls screwing in the light bulb, where he, like, after he puts the cone on, he pets his face sort of like he's screwing in a light bulb, and Dave fucking loves it.
Oh my god.
He's just purring.
I was going to put Jazzy in a cone for a while, but it's like, I don't even know if it would do anything because it's right on where the site is. So
Is she scratching it a ton?
Not as much as she was after the bath. The bath did help because she was just, like, digging at it before.
Yeah, Dave was making himself bleed.
Yeah, so was Jazzy.
You know who else made people bleed? Andre Chikatilo.
Yeah, so we're back to this mofo. We haven't even gotten to his murders yet. We just covered his childhood.
We haven't even gotten into his heavy-duty molestations.
Yes.
Because that's next.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy. If you have kids, gird your loins and eye your children's teachers suspiciously.
Yes. So, upon completion of the 2-year vocational training he got over in, where was he? Kursk. He relocated to Earl's city of Nizhny.
It's fine.
I don't know. Nizhny Tagil. Whatever.
Let me see it.
Tagil.
Nivizno. I think. I'm just kind of drunk, so I'm assuming I could pronounce things real good, but I probably can't. Moving on.
Why aren't the T's pronounced anyway?
They just aren't.
So stupid. So he worked on a long-term construction project there, and he also undertook a correspondence in the engineering program at Moscow Electrotechnical Institute of Communication, and he was there for 2 years before he ended up getting drafted to the Soviet Army in 1957. So this compulsory military service went between 1957 and 1960, where he was first serving in the border guard of Central Asia, and then the KGB communications in the East Berlin area.
This kind of looks like Idaho.
You're missing, I feel like, more of the up part. Making our cheese look like Idaho.
How about this?
And then he joined the Communist Party shortly before leaving the military service in 1960 as well.
He had like a soft shamecock for the Communist Party.
It's like having daddy issues, but it's commie issues. Yeah. It's just awkward. It's like,
Daddy wasn't there.
Daddy wasn't there to take me to the fair.
To change my underwear. So I became a commie.
Good Lord.
Daddy wasn't there.
So after that, he had nothing better to do, so he moved back to Mommy and Daddy in the hut.
1 room shack.
Yep.
His sister still lives there, mind you.
And then he did meet another woman. Not the one you're thinking of. He met a divorcee, and they had a 3-month relationship that, obviously ended because he couldn't get it up. And she was like, you know what? I had one failed marriage. I'm not going to look for one that's already doomed to fail.
Like, dude, Viagra.
Was Viagra even a thing in the fucking, 60s?
I mean, probably not, but they could have done something for you, maybe.
He had hydrocephalus. He probably needed a whole lot of surgery and stuff, which they don't do in a hut out in the middle of Ukraine.
Fair enough.
And because of this, though, this is where it gets bad, because, granted, his impotence wasn't as well known. They bullied him for the other stuff, but the impotence wasn't as well known. And then once she was, in this relationship, she kept talking with her girlfriends, hey, he's having a problem getting up. Do you have any, tips or tricks to fucking get this, working and shit? And, of course, girls talk, so everyone in the village knows.
Oh, my God. Honestly, everyone knows.
Yeah, so once word got out about his impotence, that's just one more thing.
I referred to my high school boyfriend as Captain 5, and that caught on real quick.
Yeah. So, in a 1993 interview, he would later state that girls were going behind my back, whispering I was impotent, I was so ashamed, I tried to hang myself.
I mean, I kind of wish he succeeded.
Yeah, but his mother and his neighbors pulled him down from the noose.
Bummer.
Yeah. So, he basically tried to run away from there, and he found job communications in a town located north of Rostov-on-Don.
Rostov.
The
Rostov Ripper. Yeah, so Rostov.
And, yeah, so he relocated to Russian SFSR in the 1961.
Some bunch of letters.
Some Russian letters. They mean
it's
something
the
that I don't...
alphabet. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
We're moving on.
And he rented a small apartment close to the workspace, and that same year his younger sister came to work and live with him, because she kind of pitied him a little bit,
Yeah, I think his, whole family ended up coming to live with him.
Yeah.
And he worked for, I think, the lighting company, or Power.
Yeah.
And his co-workers caught him masturbating, because he was a compulsive masturbator.
Which I don't know how that works when you can't get it up. Do you just...
So, from one of the podcasts I was listening to, he got it up just enough to, furiously tug at it until jizz oozed out.
Ugh! I hate the word ooze.
It's appropriate in this situation.
I know it's appropriate, but I'm just
So, apparently, and,
when you think ejaculate, you think, where it's not,
But you know... the slide whistle.
Yep.
Do you know how hard it is to be a compulsive masturbator when you live in a 1-room hut and then a 1-bedroom apartment with your entire family? Real fucking hard.
Girl, I live in a 2-bedroom condo, and I find it hard. I have to rub it out in the shower so Matt doesn't walk in on me, because he often does.
I, wait till Ricky goes to bed, so it's 4 a.m.
Oh, I wait till Matt goes to work, and then he'll come up just because he wants to bother me, because he's bored at work. And I'm just, in bed with my, tablet, with my porn on, and the cat's, trying to get at my cooch because she hears the vibration. And then he comes in, I'm like, alright, I'm done with all of you.
Can you leave? This is me time.
God, can a woman masturbate in this house, for fuck's sake?
I just wanted some porn. Anyway. So he would, constantly be he would constantly be, like, in pants tugging it. So he went off while he was working. And also, mind you, he's nearsighted, didn't have glasses. Thought he was far enough away from his coworkers
where they can't
in
see,
the
but
woods,
it's like...
and just started furiously in pants tugging it, and his coworkers caught him. And they were like, oh my god. Chikatilo is splooging himself.
What's he doing in the woods? Is he peeing? No, he's not peeing.
Oh my god! So he was relentlessly mocked for that, as he should be. You really shouldn't be whacking
It's
him
not
on the
hard to
job.
bully this man because he just gives you so many excuses.
Let me just deep throat the rest of it.
Yeah, just deep throat the bottle.
Okay, so you know how we were talking about those porn videos where women shove giant things up their cooter? I guarantee I've seen someone shove something this thick up their vagina.
The martini and, what's it, Rossi fucking Prosecco bottle. How many ounces is that thing? Or milliliters, whatever it is.
1.5 liters.
1.5 liter bottle.
Which we killed.
We just killed.
Yeah. So we each had 0.75 liters.
I feel like I have more than you, but still.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
it's like bubbly and it doesn't... I don't know. I feel like Prosecco, it's hard to get drunk off because the ABV is so low.
Yeah, it's like 7.5.
Yeah.
And also, it's this big, like, slightly alcoholic soda.
Yeah. It's like less than a beer.
It's about as... No, it's actually slightly more than a hard seltzer. Which is why that's what we'll day drink with in our kiddie pools. I have a whole plan. Anyway, but yeah, so he splooged his pants and his coworkers lost any sort of modicum of respect for him.
Yeah, you don't want to be a chronic masturbator in your workspace.
Who also probably still wets the bed.
Yeah. So she lived with him for 6 months, his sister, Tatiana. And she's like, you know, I gotta help him out, because
He needs a lady.
He's the worst.
And I feel bad for him, and I shouldn't feel bad for him, because I'm a rape baby. But
Yeah.
I pity him.
I pity him, and I'm a rape baby.
Right? My dad was a Nazi soldier.
So she introduced him to Feodosia Onacheva. And they introduced together, and I think, how long were they? They were not together long. I forget. Was it 2 weeks? I think it was like 2 weeks they were together.
Yeah,
like,
they
let's
weren't
get
together
married.
long, and he was like, let's just wait till we get married. And she's like, oh, so respectful.
Yeah, they literally start dating. It's like, you know what? I don't do it until we get married. It's like, you're 2 weeks into
See,
the
that's
relationship.
a red flag.
Yeah, like, oh, I need to, like, buy the cow before I get the
like,
milk.
start suckling at the
What
teat.
if this is, like, sour milk?
What if that milk is curdled?
What if this is bullshit coconut milk?
Fuck you, I love coconut milk.
I hate everything coconut. Almond milk I'll do, but coconut, ugh. It has a taste.
Cashew milk?
Never tried that one.
Pretty good.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I need to taste the milk. There's many types of milk. I want to know I'm getting the right milk for me.
What if this milk is very limp?
Or even whole milk. I hate whole milk.
What if this milk has a wonky teat?
Is it mastitis milk?
Is it mastitis milk that can't fully erect? Who's to say?
Limp dick mastitis milk.
So, yeah. And she's like,
Yeah.
oh my god, he's so respectful. He respects me as a
Yeah.
person. Oh my god. So she marries him, and she's like, oh,
You
okay.
can't get it up. Okay, cool.
But at the same time, he made pretty good money. And, okay, so for Russia in the Ukraine at the time, he was actually a good catch because he had a good job.
Yeah.
Had a home, didn't drink, and didn't beat her. So she was like,
Sweet deal for her husband.
all right, you know what? I'll put up with the limp dick.
Yeah. Because you know what? She's probably masturbating with her fingers anyway. Because that's mostly what women do anyway, because sex ends when the male's finished. Half the time. Or make it 99% of the time. Think about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they get married, and she's like, you know, whatever. But they want to have kids, because, you know, they're married and shit. So how do you do that when you can't get erect?
You jack off your half-limp shamecock and spoon feed the jizz into your wife's vagina like a really shitty turkey baster?
I was going to say, why didn't they just get a turkey baster?
It's the Ukraine. They ate grass. It's fine.
I mean, I guess, or even a spoon. Like, something. Like, I feel like you had the hand, like, shove it up there.
Well, like, he probably jizzed in his hand, pulled it up, and just kind of like, whooshed the vagina.
Just Salt Bay that semen right into your vagina.
Okay, so here's my theory.
Your theory about what? Stuffing her vagina with semen?
Yes.
Oh, God.
So you get into position, hips up, so it goes straight down the pipe, he's hovering over, and then he, like, just kind of, like, Spider-Man's her cooter.
Why am I getting, Handmaid's Tale vibes with this?
Because that's probably what it was like.
Like, you have your hips up, and I know.
Which one?
Pick your poison. Yeah, just like, hips up, fucking ready. He splooges, and then kind of, like, tucks it in.
Yeah.
And then you just gotta sit there for at least 10 minutes to make it, like, marinade.
Make it worth it.
We opened a bottle of wine, by the way.
Yeah, like, you gotta make it worth it.
So, 1965, she gives birth to a daughter, Ludmilla.
That's not a great name, but okay.
Ludmilla. And then 4 years later, in 1969, they have a son named Yuri. Better.
Yuri's better. I like Yuri, actually.
Yuri's cute. So they have 2 kids, a boy and a girl. So, meanwhile, Chikatilo chose to enroll as a correspondence student at Lostov University in 1964. Mm-hmm. And he studied, Russian literature, philosophy, all that jazz. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's Russian.
The alphabet is so crazy.
And he gets a degree in 1970. So he finishes 4 years of school while having kids and fucking gets a degree.
And chronically masturbating.
And
probably still wetting the bed.
And he had a day job, like, managing regional sports, like, activities and bullshit, but he had it for, like, maybe a year or so, and then he ended up getting a job as a Russian language teacher in literature. And this is, his first teaching career job was in Novoshak Instik. Let's see. Novoshak.
Let me see the word.
Instik. Novoshak Instik.
I don't know why, but I can...
The bottom of the
fake
green paragraph at the top.
I can fake it a little bit better.
Yeah. Novoshachnik. No schnotznik. I don't fucking get it.
You just need to fucking slur it.
You have to pretend you're, like, drunk.
Soaked in vodka.
Which, you know what? We need to drink more. Otherwise, this is gonna make sense.
I literally poured half a bottle of wine into your glass, so enjoy. I'm not joking.
I have to get shit-faced to talk about a Russian fucking murderer.
But don't we all, though?
So, he wasn't a great teacher. Although he was very knowledgeable in the top subjects he was, like, teaching, he very, very poor teacher as far as maintaining discipline in his classroom.
Also, he, like, apparently the students were like, he was completely uninterested in them.
Yeah, like, they basically took advantage of him. He was like that teacher that was very blah, and they just couldn't get involved. They couldn't get invested in the subjects he was teaching, and he lost control of his classroom real fast. I mean, you're teaching. I think he was also teaching like high school students, so it's hard enough to maintain some sense of attention at that age.
I don't think it was high school. I think it was like the 12 to 13-year-olds.
Yeah, like the junior high kids. So it's like you have to have a knack for teaching to teach that fucking age group, because they just
are demons.
And he did not have that, so it was hard.
Unlike his cock.
So let's get into the sexual assaults,
because there's many of them.
There's many of them, and this is what starts a shit show. In May of 1973, this is the first known sexual assault, and it's amongst his pupils.
Oh, was it the swimming one?
Yeah. He swam towards a 15-year-old girl and basically started groping her breast and genitals under the water.
And she started screaming, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, and in response to that, he just ejaculated.
He just Spider-Man'd the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like no one can see. It's underwater. It's like, we know what's happening. I mean, you made the splooge face. You made the Robert Pattinson face.
Yeah. It's uncomfortable for us all.
This doesn't stop here, though, because apparently he's still teaching and shit, and months later, he sexually assaulted another teenage girl he had locked in his classroom.
Yeah, for extra lessons. Mm-hmm. And I think he was smacking her in the small of the back with a ruler, and she got very upset with him.
Yeah.
And then he splooged.
Ugh. So gross.
Like, does he just wear, like, 2 pairs of underwear to, like, prevent the seepage? Or does he just not care?
He wears a maxi pad.
Like, he might need to. Like, what are you gonna do? Walk around in squishy drawers all day?
Boys pads for predators.
Like, when I was in high school, I made quite a few boys sploosh their pants.
Boys, don't sue us.
But, like, yeah, you can tell.
Oh my god. Well, also, it dries white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poise pads for predators.
Oh my god.
We're gonna get sued. Our last fucking hurrah, and we're gonna get finally sued by Poise.
I have an excuse, though. I'm drunk.
I'm tipsy too, but I'm fine.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Ugh, gross.
But yeah, so he, like, anyway, after he mops himself up with his jizz rag,
Yeah.
moving on.
Moving on.
He still doesn't get fired, mind you.
Oh no, he still goes on. There's more incidents. Of course, he was still chronic masturbator. He's still fondling himself in front of students too, and his other coworkers saw this all the time. They're like, "Dude, can you not?
Could you not?"
Can you
But,
not?"
like, the thing is, with the Communist Party, they can't fire him for being a perv, or else it reflects poorly on everyone, and they're gonna be like...
If you have an open investigation and you come out like, "Oh, we have a perverted, like, pedophile on campus," and it's like, looks bad.
It's basically a collective punishment. Everyone gets punished for it. So I think he ends up getting let go once budget cuts come up.
Well, first, then he, you know how this is a school, there's dormitories. So in the evening time...
No, that's actually a different school. He actually got transferred to a different school for that one. It's the dick in the mouth, right? It's a different school.
Are you sure? Because I thought the first school, he also had dormitories. I think he went to the...
Mm-mm. No, so the first one wasn't.
I thought they both were, but okay.
No, I think he wasn't in charge of the dormitories till the second school. He was actually in charge. So...
Well, he wasn't in charge of them, but he still went to them.
Well, he was like a dorm monitor for the second school.
No, yeah, he was a dorm monitor at the second school, but like he tried to sneak into the girls' dormitory at the first school and watch them on desk.
Okay, then never mind.
Yeah, he still tried to sneak in. Like, he wasn't dorm monitoring. He was just trying to get in to watch the girls undress.
Ew.
Yeah. So they were like, "Yeah, you gotta go.
Like,
just resign before we fire you."
They basically forced him to resign. He was like, fine.
Yeah.
But still, and they didn't tell anyone about it, so he got a good job.
No, yeah, he left his job, resigned, and then he got another job. And, yeah, so... It's the same area, the Novoshastinsky, yeah. Novoshastinsky in January 1974. So, he was there in, yeah, dormitories and...
So he was in charge of... So he actually got a pretty sweet deal with this job,
yeah.
Where they gave them, like, a 4-room apartment, which was a pretty sweet fucking deal in the Soviet Union at that time.
Oh, yeah.
His wife got a job there, too, as part of it. And you're just like, how the fuck is he getting all of these really good jobs? I have no fucking clue. He was really heavy into the Communist Party, and that definitely helped.
I wonder if they gave... Yeah, that definitely helped with the Communist Party thing, but I wonder if the other school gave him a decent recommendation just to get him the fuck out of there.
So, yeah, but part of his duties was he was, like, the dorm monitor for the boys' dormitory.
Mm-hmm.
So, he wasn't necessarily into any particular type of gender,
no
whatever.
Gender, it's just young.
It's just young and vulnerable.
Yeah, I would say young and vulnerable, like, if he could get them when they're older and they're just, like, in a shitty situation, the shitty time, yes. But,
fair enough.
But he liked the young ones. Boy or girl.
He's like, whichever, I don't really care.
No, he's pansexual with his predatory habits.
He's pan-pedophiliac.
Pan-pedophilic. Oh, God. Why do we do this?
Alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I know it says he lost this job due to staff cutbacks, but I think they figured out pretty quickly, like, yeah, you're also a diddler.
Well, one boy woke up to his dick in Chikatilo's mouth.
Yep.
And he's like, what the fuck? And then all the boys collectively, like, beat the shit out of him and forced him out of the dorm. Because he was a wimpy little bitch.
Mm-hmm. It's like, ugh. I just think of, like, Ghostbusters when, like, the ghost is, like, unbuttoning his pants, but instead it's, like, fucking Chikatilo with his dick on him.
Like, imagine 1, having a dick. That sounds terrible. 2, waking up to your dick being in some random creepy dude's mouth. Pull up a picture of Chikatilo.
Oh, it's so creepy.
Chikatilo. And he just looks so... Especially, like, his prison pictures, which, why is he wearing an Olympics shirt?
When he's older, it's like...
With no teeth. And no hair because of the lice protocol.
Yeah, but even, like, this one, like, come on, that's fucking creepy.
Waking up to your dick in that dude's mouth is disturbing.
It's disturbing AF.
It didn't look too bad when he was young.
I mean, yeah, but he's still not that young when he's putting kids' dicks in his mouth.
Nope. Ooh, is that his wife? Because she's potato-faced, if that's his wife.
I mean, it's Russia.
Um,
So he got let go again, and he tried to find a teaching position in a town called Shackney, a basically coal mining town that was 47 miles north of Rostov-on-Don. So yeah, that didn't work out the best. So I feel like he went between the mining and the teaching.
and then I think eventually he became, like, factoring, ordering, like, some sort of shit.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
That's where everything takes a turn.
Because he is able to travel, too.
Yeah, that's when we get fucked.
It's sad, but he's actually pretty good looking when he was younger. I can kind of see why his wife married him, because he was definitely better looking than she was.
Mm.
And he didn't beat her. Or get drunk.
Right.
Which, honestly, the not getting drunk was a red flag for pretty much everyone he worked with, so no one ever trusted him, because it was Russia.
Mm. Yeah, so people didn't want him around their kids in March of 1981, so he basically quit teaching at that point.
They were like, he's like, maybe I
Maybe
don't.
don't.
Oh, I drunk bought myself something.
Good God.
And now Etsy is telling me it's been shipped.
Woo!
It was this.
Yeah, same month as March 1981, he got a job as a supply clerk for a factory based in Rostov.
I really wanted to take Russian in high school, but the fucking asshole who taught it became superintendent instead of staying to teach Russian and Cantonese, that little cunt.
Fair enough.
I'm still mad at him.
Yep.
I had to take fucking German instead.
So, of course, as a supply clerk for a factory, you had to travel a lot, and this required Chikatilo to travel, like, extensively across most of Soviet Union, and this is to physically purchase, like, materials and do, like, production quotas and all this, like, supply contracts and everything.
Which is, like, perfect for a serial killer.
I know, it's like...
Perfect job.
But it's like Soviet Union, Tommy Boy.
Yes.
We just recently watched that movie. I'm just thinking, like, this is Soviet Union Tommy Boy.
He made a giant pancake. I kind of have only seen parts of it. I don't think I've seen the whole movie.
Fat guy in a little coat. Chris Farley, he left us too early.
Oh my God.
For the 27
R.I.P.
Club.
bud. Yeah. Living in a van down by the river, just like your brother tried to.
He still kind of wants to a little bit.
I literally will always think of your brother and Chris Farley in the same breath as living in the van down by the river.
I have sent him a meme because there's that, like, you know, the whole, like, sketch. And, like, you know how he's asked the girl, like, what do you want to be? And she's like, I want to live in a van down by the river. I just sent it to my brother. I'm like, that's you.
He really does, doesn't he?
He's just like, fuck off.
He wanted to live in a van, and he most certainly would have lived down by a river at some point. He can't say anything.
Actually, he technically worked near Granite Telecommunications, which is technically near the fucking Neponset River in Quincy. And he was gonna, like, park his van in the fucking workplace parking lot and just stay there. So technically he would have been at the Neponset River living in a van.
And he doesn't get the correlation.
That's why I sent him the meme. I'm like, this is you. This is 100% you. Living in a van down by the
river. God. Oh, God, I'm brewing a poop, but it's not ready.
I know, I hate that.
Like, it's because this is my second cup of coffee, and I only had a slice of banana bread before coming here for peak drunkenness.
Yeah. See, I had at least a tray of chicken nuggets to prepare myself.
I am breaking out. Like, it's so nasty.
Dude, I had it all around my mouth and up here. It's finally, like, going away.
I really wish I could accept how I look without, like, constantly going, like, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
Especially my thighs.
It's the maskne. I hate.
Well, like, my problem is, too, like, I look down and I'm like, oh, that's a new fucking stretch mark on there.
Ugh, I hate that.
Like, and they're so gross. I want to, like, just tattoo over it from, like, my hips to my knees.
I want a new tattoo, but I know I can't get it because the ones I've sketched out are not appropriate for the workplace. I kind of want it on my forearm.
I want to get an entire, like, Greek mythology leg. And I also, on my side, want to get, like, bloody hands holding a heart-shaped, anatomically heart-shaped split pomegranate. I'm gonna shit myself, excuse me.
Go ahead. I'm just gonna pause it.
Pause it. Because you bought dinner too many times.
Okay.
So,
Where the fuck were we?
now after a quick poop break, where I dropped my drawers and showed just my butt.
So, yeah, now working as a supply contractor, Tommy boying it across the Soviet Union.
Living in a van down by the river, just like Jess's brother.
He upgrades from sexual assault to murder. And I don't know if this is where we should cut it off, or we should just...
We'll go to the first murder, because he also bought a shack, and it was his second home.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union is the only place where you can have a shack with an outhouse, and it's your second home.
It's your summer home. Your shack.
Which his wife didn't know about. And
No.
I've seen pictures of her, and she's kind of potato-faced.
I mean, it's Russia.
It is Russia. Like, aren't they
Potato.
all like 90% potato?
They're 90% potato.
They're 90% potato. Your hair looks pretty today.
Oh, thank you. I got cut today, that's why.
You look so blonde and nice.
I haven't even colored it yet. I have to get my color in 2 weeks.
You look very Aryan. Hitler would like you.
Is that a compliment?
Yeah.
Hitler would like you. Thanks.
You're pretty and blonde-haired and blue-eyed. He would love you.
Oh, God. I know. I'm a sex trafficking target. Great.
I'm not.
Yeah, no.
I'm too ethnic.
Oh, Lord. So, yeah. So he gets his shack. I don't have a location for the shack. Where's his shack?
It's somewhere in Rostov.
Yeah.
Does it really matter? It's a shack.
It's a shack.
It doesn't exist anymore, I guarantee you.
But in September 1978, he moves to
Shokni.
Shakni. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing looks right in Russian language.
I'm drunk enough to be confident. Without even
Confident,
seeing the
but
word.
not, like,
Confident,
accurate.
but not accurate.
Where he committed his first documented murder that we know of.
And I think it was an 11-year-old girl. Or was
9-year-old.
it 9-year-old? There we go. There's
Yeah.
been a lot of 11-year-olds
On the evening of December 22nd, 9-year-old Yelena Zakhodnova.
Poor Elena.
I love that too.
Yelena.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It is pretty.
And ethnic.
She was lured to this old house, which, you know, is his secret shack. And he raped her, but failed to achieve an erection. Which she
So,
even was like, yo, bro, why even try?
So he struck up a conversation with her, and she's like, he seems like a nice man. She's like, I have to go to the bathroom. He's like, oh, don't worry, my house is right there.
Uh-huh.
i.e. my shack. And she's like, cool, shacks are like homes. So
It's
she
practically an
follows
outhouse.
him,
It's fine.
and he tries to shove his soft dick inside her, busts her hymen open, the blood excites him, he splooges, then he's like, ooh, the blood, that's what it is. So he takes out a knife, and he's like, I'm just gonna, like, cut her belly a little, not too much. But then he starts to, like, fucking stab the shit out of her, and gets into a frenzy, and he literally, with his hands, tears her apart.
Yeah.
And is in a blood-fueled, like, organs everywhere, orgastic frenzy.
Ugh.
Splooging left and right out of his limp noodle while he tears a small child apart.
Horrific.
And that's in your head now. You're welcome.
9-year-old child being... Oh, God.
And then he chucks her body in the river.
Yes, into the Grosteva River.
I'm doing this from memory, bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't listened to any podcast on him, actually.
I don't know why. But
I've only seen, like, 2 documentaries, and they were a while ago, actually.
There's 2 perfect ones on him that go into this in detail, and I've memorized them. Because I'm weirdly obsessed with him.
I'm also kind of tipsy, so I'm, like, not going to remember anything, even I tried to research this.
I am weirdly accurate when drunk. At least my drunk self thinks so.
But, yeah, so there's, numerous pieces of evidence could have, like, linked him to this one murder. It could have been done
There was
right then
literally
and there.
blood on his shack, but his wife gave him an alibi.
And on the snow near his house, like, you can't hide. Like, it's Russia. There's snow everywhere. There's blood in literally stark white snow.
And it's pretty obvious that it's him, but unfortunately his potato-faced wife gives him an alibi. She's like, he makes money, doesn't spend all of it on booze, and doesn't hit me, so I need to keep this stream of revenue coming.
Also, her rucksack had been found on the opposite bank of the river, which was right near the street where his shack was located. And neighbors saw him that he was present in the house that evening.
And I think someone saw him with her.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because he was a communist in good standing with the party, they're like, well, his wife said he had an alibi, so we're just going to ignore all this because he's a good communist, and we're going to go ahead and accuse this other dude who actually had assaulted and murdered a young girl when he was still underage, so that's why he wasn't executed for it.
Yeah.
And he did fit the profile.
He fit the profile, yeah. He was a 25-year-old laborer named Alexander Kravchenko.
Alexander Kravchenko.
Kravchenko. So, yeah, he did rape and murder a teenage girl, but again, he was minor at that time. And then with this one, they're like, yeah, nah, bro, now you gotta die.
Sorry about that. Well, at first they weren't going to kill him. I think they were just going to imprison him, but Yelena's family was fucking pissed, and they're like, you need to kill him. He raped and murdered our daughter.
But he had a watertight alibi for that afternoon, actually. He had been home with his wife the entire afternoon, and the neighbors of the couple were there to verify this, because they're like, yeah, he was at
But
home.
Unfortunately, he had priors, and Andre didn't because no one reported him, and he wasn't in good standing with the Communist Party like Chikatilo was.
Yep.
So they're like, well, you're expendable, so sorry about that, bro.
So, yeah, and, you know, they had like, oh, we have other statements that you weren't there that evening. So he confessed to the killing because he's like, oh, well, shit, I don't want to be like put on for murder for something I didn't do. So he just like, yeah, sure, I
Also, let's be real, Soviet questioning was more like torture.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they like came after like this other man's like, okay, we're gonna torch you and like do all this shit, but also like, you know, you're gonna go down anyway for this, and whether you die or not, that's up to you. It's kind of that sort of thing.
You might die easier if we just shoot you in the head.
If you just confess, you know,
it'll be quick.
It'll be quicker than us torturing you for hours on end.
And you die in custody. Air quotes. Because, you know, Soviets. Ooh, Anna Duggar blames her in-laws for Josh's arrest. We need to watch that after this episode wraps up.
But he was convicted of murder with a sentence to death, but then it was commuted to 15 years imprisonment, which was the maximum they could give.
Which is stupid. But then he went and got sentenced to death because Yelena's family was like, fucking kill him.
Yeah, because then they ended up killing him by firing squad for the murder of her in July 1983.
Which is now an option in South Carolina, y'all.
Ooh, okay. Good. Firing squad needs to come back. That's more humane than anything else we got going on.
Honestly, it's better than lethal injection because they fuck that shit up all the
Just
time.
put a bullet in my head. Fucking do it.
Just like blindfold everyone, including the firing squad.
And I also count this guy's execution as the second murder towards Chikatilo.
There's a bunch of them because he was like killing people left and right. There's quite a few people who were wrongly convicted of his crimes and died because of him. So they add to his body count. He may not have killed him himself, but he was responsible for their deaths nonetheless. And I really want to go ham at batting at that Mayflower thing, the maypole.
Yeah, I have a chandelier of ribbons for Beltane.
Beltane.
I have cheese in my throat. Beltane in my office, and Marcy keeps clawing at it like a cat.
I'm part cat.
Although my other cats have also tried clawing at it, because it's just hanging.
It's dangly.
I don't know, I just wanted it to be
I
pretty.
love it. It's pretty and I love it. And next year we need to get drunk, naked, and dance around a maypole at the full moon.
I have to actually take that day off.
You do. Like,
I didn't think of it this year.
you have the Wheel of the Year, you double check online, you take those days off, we go ahead and have naked festivals in my backyard because there's fences.
Alright, fine.
There we go.
But, granted, again, this is the first murder with Chikatilo, with the young girl. He now knows what gets him off. It's blood and
Murder.
slashing and restraining and basically being horrible to young children. Ugh, just everything unimaginable.
He's gross.
He's gross.
He's what I imagine Josh Duggar will become. Moving on.
He tried to stress that he initially tried to struggle and resist these urges, but
I call bullshit.
we all call bullshit. Like, he just like, oh, I'm cutting my business ship short, and I don't want to, like, face the temptation of searching for victims. Bitch, please, your body count is so fucking high, and it's probably higher. We're well past that.
There have been so many people I wanted to murder, but I didn't do it. Because I'm afraid of prison.
And, you know, I'm going to cut it there, because in the next episode, we're just going to get into all his murders after
And
this
it's
one.
just like a list.
It's just a list.
Of this peasant here and that peasant there. like, there's not really many names because of the Soviet. We don't really have any backstory on these people.
No, I
Because-
do have a list, which I will leave out, but like...
In Soviet Russia, you get murdered. If you a woman, it doesn't matter. If you a young boy, it's fine.
Pull up a missing peepee.
Okay. So this is Taryn Summers. Look at this little muffin.
Oh.
She a muffin. So she's been missing since April 12th of 2021 from Emmett, Idaho. She was born May 25th of 2012, so she's 8 years old. Her birthday's coming up.
Yep.
She's female, white with blonde hair, dirty blonde, sort of, and blue eyes. She's about 4'10" and 65 pounds. She was last seen wearing dark blue leggings, a long sleeve shirt with blue and white horizontal stripes. So if you've seen her, she also has glasses. They're pink frames. Don't hesitate to call 911 or 1-800-843-5678, 1-800-THE-LOST, registered trademark, or the Gem County Sheriff's Office in Idaho at 1-208-365-3521, or if you're like me and you have severe phone anxiety, you can go ahead and look up her poster on missingkids.org, make sure it was her, and report a sighting in the upper right-hand corner where there's a little eyeball icon.
And then to reach us, you can find us howmistillipodcast@gmail.com and send us your shit you want us to cover or anything like that. Granted, we're no longer posting regular episodes, but if you send us something we are interested in, maybe we'll get drunk and just record a podcast. Who knows?
Once a year, we'll, go through a couple bottles of wine after a full moon orgy, and see what happens. It's not going to be an orgy.
No.
No.
But yeah, you can send us any requests there. You can also message us directly on Facebook and Instagram, How I Still Like Podcast, comment on our posts or anything like that. And you can also find us on Twitter, How I Still Lie, No One, ALI.
We also might curse people for you. Depends on our mood.
Yeah.
We're getting into some witchy shit.
Yeah, so stay alive, guys, and we'll see you next week on this continuing wrap-up of Mr. Chikatilo. I honestly think it's gonna be another 2 episodes from now, but we'll see.
It's gonna be a lot.
It's gonna get, yeah, I think.
The amount of drunk sidebars are gonna increase.
The drunk sidebars will increase, and the fact that this guy has a body count over 50 is gonna be a while.
I think it was it's probably, honestly, in triple digits. They just didn't find everyone.
They found a minuscule amount of what was left.
Yeah.
Alright, we will see you next week.
Bye!